I wouldn't even call it rain last night here, but a bit of drizzle. So you've got a sort of a fresh smell in the air. It should be good for tracking as well. A little pattern on the ground, so you can see anything after about 4 o'clock this morning will be easy to recognize. Otherwise, nice and not cold, but nice and fresh. And I believe it's going to be a beautiful day. There was just a great sense of my guest this morning. I think that's it for now. I think let's get moving. That's the most important part of a game drive. Sounds, smells, gut feelings, all those things. I think it's a nothing. No, it's nothing. I did see, which I presume will just be a dugger boy or two, a lone bull or two. Up ahead, a couple of buffalo. There's a zebra track. That's nice. We've seen more leopard than zebra in the last many days. It'd be cool to see a zebra. Giraffe, some general game today would be great as well. And of course it's Friday, the day before the weekend. We're looking forward to this weekend. We've got all game drives are special, but we do have 2 special game drives coming up. Looking forward to those. Saturday afternoon, 9 to 12 Eastern time, 6 to 9 Western time. That could be morning time for you guys. Equates to 3 o'clock until 6 o'clock our time, each with a fireside chat. So it's going to be a great drive. Go straight to Stefan and them. They found something. Enjoy, and we'll see you in a bit.
Good morning everybody, and welcome to the sunrise bushwalk with myself, Steph and Scott. And right away we've got impala calling right where we are. We've come onto this open area this morning. We're driving into the camp. Come along. We've got our hyena calling in the background, tracks of lions, lots happening. Not too bad to walk, at least it's not thick bush where we're going. But nevertheless, there's enough hiding places out here for stuff. Now, a lot of you might think, what are we doing walking around in the bush? It's dangerous, but truth be told, this is how most of our animals are found. Following up on alarm calls, following up on tracks. Coming up to a road. Still can't see anything. The impala have stopped alarm calling now. Even run away. Cross over the road. Slightly overcast this morning. Lovely to walk around in the bush when it's overcast like this. Don't get as hot. Now, when we're walking around like we are, Generally you want to try and keep wind direction in your face, but when you're following around on alarm calls of animals like we do, not necessary. For those of you new to the show, welcome firstly. Secondly, you will notice that I'm carrying a rifle. It's essentially just a piece of safety equipment that we use when we are far away from lodges, when we're far away from vehicles. The hope is that we never have to use it, but you know, it's there if we do. This is Africa. We are predominantly looking for the big five. Dangerous to look for on foot. But I've been doing this for 16 years and this is my speciality, is walking around. Now it doesn't mean that just because we haven't found anything yet that something isn't here. There's a lot of places for things to hide. And what we're going to be doing is zigzagging through this area until we find a track. We know for sure what has caused these impala to alarm like they have. Myself and Scott. Scott and I have known one another for years, and he, apart from being on camera and gifted to that, is also a field guide with many years experience on the bush. The two of us, we work together as a team and we keep eyes open for one another while we're busy doing what we're doing. Very unique product, this walking around in the bush. I mean, we are live at the moment and highly mobile. Okay, we got some Franklin calling. We're going to be making our way straight into that area. Okay, so Franklin, the bush has told us that something's there and it's bothered them. We're going to be making our way straight to where they were.
Texan, I'm on handout, I'm not sure, but morning 4. Well guys, quite a morning, lots happening, and quite a start. Leopard with Stefan. Hayden's busy responding there. We're just checking up here. I'm coming up on Treehouse Dam. So I was just busy chatting to Texan there. He's one of the rangers at Boyatilla. Next hair's out there as well. Leopard out there, one. We're looking for a second leopard. It's we haven't had specific tracks yet, but I want to follow up quite soon on Q from last night. This is Treehouse Dam. Q, of course, when we left him last night, while he was walking off a bit, I think actually to come for a drink or something, but still had food left up in the tree, so a good chance that he might be around. And then Brent just let us know where he was busy tracking up. He heard a leopard calling, a vocalization. Let's see, maybe one or two of you know what a leopard sounds like. There's a great way to describe it in all the books, and it's actually very, very close. Whereas you could say lion is roaring, or you should say lion is roaring when a lion roars, because it's a beautiful sound. It's a roaring sound. Leopards are more like a sawing sound. Sawing as in, you know, big saw through wood. Pretty close to what a leopard would sound like if you were sitting in the front of the Jigga driving around, sawing into a microphone. But that's the sound you want to hear. Middle of the night is great, but it's best if you hear it early morning while you're out there looking around for them, because you know there it is. Normally it'll be a dominant male, so I would be guessing a mvula in this case, possibly a female as well, they also call, but the big males, the same as lions, they use that vocalization, they use that sound to let other leopard know, listen, I'm a mvula, I'm the big guy here, I am in my home range, I am in my territory, don't come and sort of scratch along where it's not your place to scratch kind of thing. So vocalization is very important for leopard as well. With lions there's probably a wider range of use for it because they're socially, you know, more complex. What a lovely sound. Hearing those things, lion roaring, leopard, hyena, hippo at night, those are all fantastic sounds, you know, all the sounds that tell you that you are in Africa and there's big game out there. Speaking of big game, we're looking for them as always, as you know. We're going to continue on and look for that herd, the sound.
Foot, guys. There we go. That's what was giving, there. So welcome back. We just got a leopard going down the road. He's got a little bit. See if we can show it to you. So definitely a leopard. See if I can show it to you. See if we can get her down the road here. There she's walking there. Here we go. So we're going to call in the vehicles now, because to get any closer to her on foot is actually no go. She'll run away and then you won't be able to see her, so we're going to go and see who's in the area. Fantastic, yeah! Anyone in the vicinity of Cutline come in? Hayden come in. So we got a leopard. Now the job is to back off and actually call vehicles in here. That's what we're doing. But she wasn't disturbed by us. We're going to try get a vehicle in here. Hayden, come in for Steph. Hayden, come in for Steph. He's going to come as quickly as what he can. But while we're standing here and we're waiting for Hayden, we can take some questions from you. That's the beauty of what we're doing at the moment, is that you can hashtag your questions to Safari Live, or you can email questions at WildEarthTV, and myself and Scott will get it on the radio, and we can potentially answer some of your questions. Anything to do with how we found this animal today, or what made us go into that area. Copy that. If you wouldn't mind just letting Peter know that we're on the Triple M boundary with on the access road. So For those of you who just joined the show, welcome to you this morning. Myself and Scott were on tracking, or we were tracking into an area. We were following up on some wild dog tracks, funnily enough, and next thing the impala just went crazy around us. We actually thought it was the wild dog. I was expecting to find some wild dog on foot, and then we come to this road and bang, there's a leopard standing on the road, like right in front of us. So we managed to get her, which was a lucky thing for us. She was absolutely relaxed. We've now moved out of the area to give her enough time to do what she's doing. She was just walking along this road. I have no doubt that she's still on the road. Leopard are generally creatures of habit where they will like to walk on game paths and on roads. And it was a female leopard from the size of it. Don't know which one. We weren't close enough to identify which leopard it was. But now our job is to try and get Peter or Hayden in here. Hayden answered the radio a bit earlier. Peter is also in the area. He's making his way here as fast as possible. While we're here, I got all this adrenaline going through my body from tracking something and finding something like that. It's an awesome experience. And now I'm just calming myself down and getting myself back into the groove, the bush groove, so to say. Listening to the bush around us. Give me 1 second while I'm on the radio. I've got his audio. He can just come straight to the cut line from there. So it would seem like Peter is close by. It's the wonders of this technology. You're on the bushwalkers, myself and Scott, in the middle of Djuma Private Game Reserve, situated in the northern end of the Sabi Sands, plugged into the Kruger National Park. We're very, very remote, and yet we can bring you live safaris. We're in contact with the radio and a greater guiding team, and we hopefully we can get one of the vehicles in here and they can take you into that cat. Bit of time is going by. She's creating distance even as we speak. As anything, leopard can move away and move into thick bush. You there, and there's no. It's not always the case. Leopard have got a reputation for hurting people from time to time, but generally we've got visual of one of the vehicles. So we've got Pete coming in here. Here on the radio. Thank you for joining with me this morning, and I wish you luck. I hope you find her and have a much better view of her. Pete, you're welcome to. We've got your visual. Just keep on coming.
Welcome back this side, and as we said earlier, what an exciting morning. I don't want to get too excited yet, but going to something where you're going to find a leopard or a wild dog or something that you've been looking for is hugely exciting. Obviously, finding it on foot, as you could see earlier with Stefan out there, finding an animal on foot is just great. It's also often the need to do so, because to track something, the leopard don't really think about just using the road, although they often do, but you really have to track them and find them. So that's very exciting, and great also going in there and being able to get in there with the vehicle and I'll get close to them, see what they're up to. But that's the teamwork. It really is great. The guys are great trackers. Both Stefan and Scott, great experience. They also have the right mindset. If you're following big game, leopard, lion, ellies, those kind of things, being on foot, you need to have the quiet mind, the leaf on the water mind. So great to join these guys, and you see two guys standing like this waiting for you, knowing there's good news. It's a nice feeling, especially when they are also good friends at the same time. So, howdy doody. Very good.
Good.
So
Hello,
that's what a smile looks like for a guy that just saw a leopard on foot.
Are you keeping up?
I'm very happy, bro. I'm about to see a leopard.
She Crossed here probably 10 minutes ago now.
Okay.
Walking very relaxed straight down the road. So you should get her on the road, but she's probably heading towards that drainage line.
Okay. Young female? Or small female?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's Shadow. She looks a bit mousy, for lack of a better description. Ears are always like this.
Yeah. She was a bit...
Spots, tail.
Yeah, there was a leopard there, we think.
Cool, awesome.
Good luck.
Now, this is where we actually followed her in yesterday, and she left the young cub not far from me in a drainage line, so she might be heading back. So
Good luck.
Awesome, guys. Thank you very much. And I hope those wild dogs pop. I texted them are following up towards Impala Plains.
Good stuff.
Right. Thanks, guys. Super exciting. Wild dogs, I'm in the area as well. It sounds like Shadow to me. And this is where, after the drive yesterday morning, we followed it in yesterday in the afternoon. If you joined us for the drive, you might remember I was explaining that the youngster was left in sort of an area, and I'm hoping, it's not necessarily the case, but I'm hoping that that's where she's heading back to. So I think for now, rather than look for the track and try and catch up with her, I want to take a sort of a gut feeling guess and go straight towards where she'd left the youngster. See if we can't pick her up en route. It'd be great to see Shadow again. Let's go have a look. Excuse me. Alright. As I said, Leopard actually do like using the road, so 10 minutes, I'm trying to think, it would have taken her about 10 minutes to get where I think she might be going. She might also just be hunting, so she could be zigzagging through the bush.
Okay.
Listen to the game drive there. Right. Okay, I don't see a track though. She hasn't walked on the road, so that's making me think perhaps not what I'm thinking. If that sentence made any sense. Perhaps I'm not thinking what I'm thinking. And what I'm thinking is that she came back to find the cub. But if she was coming back for the cub, she would likely have walked on the road there. She might have fetched the cub during the night already. She hasn't walked here. Ah, there's a track, there's a track. Let me just see. No, but that is from yesterday. Oh, yes! There we go. And she's fetched him. Oh, guys, happy days. I think one of the best feelings in the world, it really is when you spot a leopard, that first millisecond when you realize I'm looking for one and now there is a leopard. It's like magic. It appears. Your mind conjures it up into reality, and suddenly you're like, leopard! In this case, 2 of them. Awesome. Yo, Stephens, I'm hoping for a little bit of play as well. Share, but it's also a pleasure to share. Ah, awesome. Look at that. Oh. Morning, to the stations. Anyone that can copy? Morning, guys. Any Tuesday stations that copy? Any stations in the west? Awesome, Liam. Thank you very much. I've got a lekker update for you. We've got Shadow and Mompimpan cruising down parallel road, close to the northern end of it, heading south. Great, copy that, thank you. Oh, guys, I'm going to stop here because she's just gone into the left into this drainage line. There's the youngster now following in. I think they might be stalking each other a bit. Oh, yeah, he's busy stalking her. Let's just see. There she's coming up. Ooh, tricky terrain. I'm hoping they come back onto the road because that is very, very thick stuff they're going into. Okay, she's looking up into... No, I think they're just looking around. She was looking up into the tree there. What's she looking at? For a second there I thought there might be a kill around, but I mean that wouldn't make sense within the behavior we've seen. She's coming from the north heading back here, so she's, as I mentioned earlier, pushing a little bit further into Karula's area. I mean, it's not Karula's territory as such, it's sort of the, call it that sort of grey overlap if you want, the umbra of the two territories. Oh, you have to be so lucky. If we were 2 minutes later, they would have been in there already, and finding them then could have been quite a tricky one. Love it when the teamwork really plays out like this. What a perfect morning so far. Teamwork coming from our side, all the different cogs in the wheel that turn. It's been brilliant. Ooh, they're going into some rough terrain. Even on foot, you would be tricky to keep up with them. Well, impossible to keep up with them because they could just lose you if they want. But where are they going? I wonder. Guys, quick update, we're live at the moment as well. They've just turned straight east. That first big Skovanin you cross, not the one with a drainage pipe under it, just the next one with the nice big, I think it's an ivory or something. They've just crossed straight east on the southern side of that bank, so heading towards Triple M. There's a buffalo as well in there, very thick. Yeah, guys, I'm going to try and keep visual. They've gone into, as I said, right southern bank of that Skovanin. It's Makulu Tamboti thicket there, but I'll try and stick with them, but they are currently heading east. Whoa, this is a bud. Well, they didn't give us a 4x4 for nothing. Challenging to say the least. Okay, can't go there. That's a big log. Can't go there. Eish. Now the thing what we're going to have to do. You have to, and this is a big part of tracking and of you know, we talk about the bush paper, all this information you read, which starts obviously with the headlines, the bold print, the front page, which is lion roaring, a big track on the road, a hyena running to chase something, those kind of things. But then you have to take the subtle things, the little alarm calls, the small track, the sort of intuition almost on some of the smaller things, and then the next level from that is using all the collective bits and pieces of information you've got, what we saw yesterday, the day before, what Stefan and them found earlier, where she was coming from, how she picked him up. You have to use all those bits, which are still fact. In other words, you're still using that as your background story, your sort of understanding of it. And then out of all of that, you must try and then use a bit of intuition, a bit of understanding, skill, experience plays a role, and just a good bit old luck and good gut feel. Combination of all those things, that's what really tells you the whole story in the end. And what I'm trying to get to is I'm going to pick up the pace. The way she was walking, she's coming from the north. That cub home. Sorry, home being the wrong word, but what I meant with home is I would feel that she's maybe made a kill and has come to fetch the cub so that she can take him to the kill. So we want to make sure that we can stay on her and hopefully follow her all the way to where she might have a kill. If we lose her now, we might not find that kill, we might not see her for the next 2 days. So I want to follow up. In fact, I might even see where Brent and the guys are so we can try and keep up with her. This is the dip she was in. I'm hoping she pops out here somewhere. Morning, Tracy. I think if I heard you correctly, you said you're from Victoria, Australia. Victoria, as opposed to Pretoria. Tracy, welcome on the drive, and great question. Just asking, what would the track of that cub look like? Sorry, I'm going to be not looking at you while I'm talking at the moment, because somewhere in here there's a leopard that hopefully will pop out. Tracy, you were just wondering, what does the cub's track look like relative to the mother's track? And I'll see if we get them walking down the road. I'll show you. That would be the best way to do it. But at this stage, they would be very close to the same, even though she's still bigger than him. Most average size for leopard in this area, and heavier, so she's not very big. And yeah, their tracks would be. Well, not smaller than average, but she's at most average size for leopard in this area, so she's not very big. And yeah, their tracks would be very similar in size. Alright, now I'm going to have to hope that you can see better.
A few drops.
Cool. A little bit of a very soft drizzle. Okay guys, I want to just give an update to the game drives, but this is what I'm hoping. If it goes the way I think or hope it might, somewhere in there, I mean anywhere, behind us even, but in this section here, I'm hoping sort of just in that spot. Let's see, maybe it happens just there. Would be great if a leopard and a cub comes walking out. It's going to update the game drives, because obviously a couple more eyes and ears are always handy. Guys, just update on Mafazi Ingwe and Antoine. They've headed straight east along that Skovanin, which would be the first big Skovanin that you cross coming south on Parallel Road on the northern end. I haven't been able to follow, but waiting on Triple M to see if she pops out. I am a relatively patient person sometimes. And when you're hunting, which is sort of what we're doing now, trying to find this leopard again, you have to be patient, but I'm going to be a little bit mobile in my patience. Right, well, can't see anything yet. We're going to keep checking here. I'm going to be up and down a little bit, keep watching here. You're going to jump over to HT for a bit, see what he's up to, and if we just get that faintest idea of a leopard around, we'll get you back here. See you in a bit.
Good morning everyone, and welcome to Safari Live. My name's Hayden Turner and Andrew's with it. It is a very, very interesting morning. Lots and lots of information on the radio. There's line tracks picked up. There is leopard, which Peter's on I think at the moment, and we've also got wild dog tracks on the reserve, so we're really trying to find them. Andrew just saw a vulture in a tree. I've just seen another one fly over there. We're going to go and check out a little bit of information in here in a second, folks. But I just wanted to give you also a bit of information about this weekend. This weekend we're broadcasting live on Nat Geo Wild USA. Nat Geo Wild USA, 2 sunset drives on Saturday and Sunday night with a fireside chat at 5:30 each time. So we've got a half an hour fireside chat as well. So if you need more information, we'll probably push it through during the shows today and make sure you know as much as we can possibly get to you, and also on Facebook. And if you've got any questions, you can always throw them to us through Twitter or through Facebook. I'm sorry, through emails. And that brings me to, if you want to ask us any questions, you can send us a tweet to #SafariLive. That's #SafariLive, or you can email us at questions@WildEarthTV. So that's the ways you can get in contact with us. We'd love to have your questions and comments. It's fantastic that's what this is all about, the interactivity between us and you, and that's what makes this so unique at Safari Live. So we're just going to drive up here a little bit further and see if we can see some more vultures, but it's always a good sign, you know, those little tiny messages really from the bush that something's going on, and it can be as easy as seeing a couple of vultures in trees. Now, excuse me, the other thing, vultures need some really nice warm air to be able to soar. When it's a colder morning like it is this morning, 15 degrees C, about 57 Fahrenheit, you do find them roosting in trees a little bit longer than what you would normally on a warm morning. So that's something else we have to take into account. Right, the other thing I wanted to say was I wanted to wish Mr. Peter Pretorius and his wife Leishan a happy anniversary today, which is pretty fantastic news. So a big happy anniversary to Leishan and Pete for them. And one more little shout out for our AEP, our assistant producer Jess. It's her birthday today, so a big happy birthday to Jess as well. She's doing an amazing job. And a great birthday for her. So we're going to move on, see what else we can pick up here. The great thing is when you get all that information through on the radio, there's line tracks on the other side of the reserve. There's a couple of people on them. Pete on Leopard. We've got what I call the Bloodhound gang. Brent, Scott and Stefan. The Bloodhound gang are out, and they are just a force to be reckoned with when it comes to finding leopard and any tracks that they're given or they pick up on. Sorry, it's always quite extraordinary to see how quickly those three work together. They're a force to be reckoned with. We had a line kill here many years ago, moons ago, about 7 months ago. That's not that long. There's a big line activity here, but I do have a great memory of this spot. You might hear a little bit of radio traffic here on this handheld radio too, folks, which is some new digital radios that we're working with at the moment. So you might hear a little bit of traffic there, and you might see me talking to the Game Drive channel on this radio. Just looking along here, we did see vultures here. I'm going to do a big circle and go around the other side because Philemon's cut line goes up that way, and we might be able to, instead of crashing through the bush, we might do that. Now, we left Mvula walking off into the night last night hunting. He may have had a successful hunt last night. I'm sure he would have. He's an incredible cat, and he's very capable of still hunting every single time he needs to. He's a big boy. We left him. We had a couple of tries at small things like Steenbok and Nyala, but that wasn't successful for him last night. He went off into that thick bush, and I'm sure he did have success. We'll go and find out if there's anything coming out of that block as well. But there was so much information this morning. I'm looking away from camera all the time, folks, because I'm just trying to see where those vultures landed. It was somewhere over here. So lots of activity, lots of predator activity at the moment. I'm just looking at these tracks going up here. There's lots of, this is a hyena pathway down here. I don't know, Andrew, if you can see just on the road there and show everyone. It's a little bit hard in this light, folks, because the light is so flat that it doesn't give you any differentiation in the track. When you've got oblique light or the sun's shining and you've got an angle on it, you can pick up the track a lot easier. So it's not fantastic for looking at them on the camera, but I'll show them to you another time when there's better light. Excuse me. Pamela is at Djuma waterhole. She's one of our zoomies. Pamela, you've just seen hyena down at the Djuma waterhole, or Viatella waterhole. Djuma down there. That could be an interesting point. Okay, what do we do? What do we do is the question. Let me just go up to the top of this road. This is where Q was last night, and I do want to just double check. And then we'll do a little loop, Pamela, and go down to that waterhole and see if there's any activity there. We just don't know what could be going on at the moment. There's so many different things. So many kills. 4 leopards yesterday. Four leopards yesterday, which is pretty incredible. Absolutely amazing leopard day yesterday. Excuse me. Can you see those birds? Oh, there's one. Oh no, it's not, sorry. Just, I thought it was a vulture, but it's not. There's definitely vultures landing on a tree over here somewhere. Big man. Pete came in here this morning. Peter is also. He must have moved on.
Okay, we can try to take those dogs.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
I'm looking for them as well, Effie. So if you find, give us a call. What channel are you on?
Yes, this is the Djuma one because right now I was with the guys by the Eastern channel.
There's problems, huh?
Yeah, the red is not good.
Okay, mate.
Thanks very much.
Thanks, Steffi. Have a great day, guys. So folks, it was just a little exchange we have with Ephraim, who's a fantastic guide from Cheetah Plains, who always stops and gives us as much information. We share as much information as we can. And I think we're going to go down to Viatella Dam and have a little look. It's just a funny old morning. There's lots of talk, there's lots of tracks. But something will come up, I promise you. When I say I promise you something will come up. It might be a bird, but there will be something come up. Yeah, just want to give out some information. If anyone there is looking for information about what's happening on this weekend, I'll just say again, it's really the best way to find out all the information is on WildSafariLive.com. That's Nat Geo Wild's website for Safari Live, and all the information about the times and everything will be on there, and you'll be able to get that information there. So if you do have any problems, please contact us, of course. But I really say that that's the best place to get all the information about the times and when it's being shown on Nat Geo Wild USA on TV. It'll still be on broadcasting online, of course, but if you want to watch it on Nat Geo Wild USA, go and check out WildSafariLive.com. That website will give you all the information you need to know. Okay, well, lots of radio talk at the moment.
Go ahead. What's happened with those ones on there? This ones we can't book up most of where they're from, but yeah, there's some all over here. We trying on a kid that no calls are coming off this side. I don't know if they're close to the western way.
So this is what we have normally going in our ear, folks. So you can imagine all the information that we try and pick up. Just got a funny feeling. I don't know why I want to go down this road, but I want to go down this road. Just let me see. you just don't know where wild dog are going to pop up, folks. They travel vast distances, and once they walk along these roads for a little bit, they only have to get a little bit of a scent or a bit of a hint that there might be impala or something in this bush, and they're gone, and they're in there. Question from Erwin in New Zealand. Hi Erwin, great to have you with us all the way from that beautiful land of the long white cloud there. It's a beautiful place, mate, and I've been to your country many times, being your neighbour when I was growing up. Erwin, your question is about whether we see or we don't see many monkeys or baboons, or there's some nice buffalo just here sitting. Just while we're talking about it, but just while we're looking at these buffalo, I'll answer your question, mate. Monkeys and baboons, we do see vervet monkeys quite a few times, but baboons have been, there's a bit of a love, or not a love-hate, but a relationship with humans, that baboons do cause a lot of problems on reserves with camps and things like that. So historically, baboons have had a little bit of a sort of not been such a welcome friend in camps, and they have been sort of shooed away quite a lot, and we don't see them very often here on the reserve, and that's a historical thing, that's not now, but when they do come through, it's quite incredible to see them feeding and moving along with a troop through the grassland. Vervet monkeys, we do see little troops of vervet monkeys going through vegetation, so if I do find some, I'll definitely stop for you. Your other question, half of the question, was do we have a problem in open top vehicles? The answer to that is definitely no, mate. They don't come anywhere near us. They wouldn't dare come anywhere near us. There's a fear factor there, which is a really good thing, because as soon as you break that fear factor, that's when you start to have problems. You have a human-animal conflict situation come, and then that something has to be dealt with there. So it's not a good place to be. Always good to have that little barrier between us and animals, and an understanding. We just got a couple of a little bachelor herd, but thank you very much, Owen, for your question. Very interesting. Okay, guys, we're gonna link to Peter. We've just got radio call. He's on the wild dog, guys. Fantastic stuff. All right, guys.
Welcome back to the side, and we haven't found the leopard, but other vehicles came to help us look for her, and in the process, and I just want to make sure, because there's different radios going on, and I don't want to preempt something that's not going to happen, but I think we can see wild dogs any second, pretty much in the same area, or close to the same area where the leopard disappeared. So I don't know this part of the reserve as well as we know Djuma side, but I understood the guys correctly, we should be close to there now. So hold on to the edge of your seat, so to speak. This is where Shadow went in just when we were driving now. The thick stuff on the left, she disappeared in there with her cub. Maybe that's why she turned, maybe she smelled it. Oh, brilliant. Nice, awesome. That's probably what happened. She probably smelled the wild dogs. There's a slight breeze coming from that direction. If we'd only got another 100 yards, nice, what a treat, what a treat. One of the most sought after wild animals to see in Africa. African hunting dog, or the African painted dog. Stunning, stunning, stunning. second. Oh, guys, this is amazing. That's why the ingwe turned. Guys, this is so awesome. And also, it sort of fills the story in for us for the morning. Because now we know why the leopard suddenly turned like that. And they've killed something. I'm not sure what it is, but they've finishing off quickly. 2, 4, 6 of them that I can see. 7. What did they bamba? That's awesome. Sarah, yes, we were just talking about how awesome it is to see wild dog. Yes, firstly, they are endangered, so not many left of them. Secondly, they cover massive areas. These guys, one wild dog pack can cover the same sort of home range as, 40 or 50 leopard even. They have massive home ranges. So to see this is a treat. We've been very lucky. We saw them last week as well. So this is something that even the guides that live here day to day, the people that do this every day, when they see wild dogs, it is truly one of their highlights. All the lodges that saw them this morning, all the guides, all the guests, this is what they'll be talking about at breakfast today. This is what they'll talk about this afternoon when they have a cup of coffee before they go out for the next drive. And to see them like this as well, early morning, feeding, playing, interactive with each other. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I saw 8 now. And again, it just proves to you the pack aspect, or the working together aspect of the guides here as well. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, I've just seen 9. I think it should be 9. 1, 2, 3, 4. Sorry, I sound like I've got a counting issue here, but 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Perfect. 9 dogs that I can see. And yeah, this is the business. Oh, fantastic. You can see that alert posture of the dog on the left. There's a buffalo just to our left, 10 yards away. Now the dogs won't hunt a buffalo, but they do have to keep an eye on it. Buffalo seems to be unperturbed by them. Look at that. Pretty sure that this is a different pack of dogs from the ones we saw last year November when we had those 2 spectacular kills. This one here looks like a male with a floppy ear. He would be definitely one that's easy to recognize. Sean, how many in this pack altogether? 13, okay. Yeah, I've gotten up to 11 was my last quick count now as I... And the name for them? Wild Dog Pack. Awesome. Great benefit. We're sitting not far from Sean, who's one of the great guides from Aratuza. Great experience, knows this pack well. He says they're 13 total. He's counted 12 so far. I've just counted 11, so definitely 12 dogs here. The 13th might still be around. What a treat. That's an adult impala male they've caught there. Yeah, that would be amazing, guys. If you could help us here, ewt.org.za. I know that's no context to what I was just talking about, but trying to figure out which dogs these are in the bigger picture, not just of the Sabi Sands, but the greater Kruger wild dog population which are being studied. ewt.org.za. You go on there, and if you post pictures, any of these pictures you're getting, these dogs we can recognize. As I said, floppy ear, there would certainly be one that's easy to recognize for the guys that know them. But then also you look at the spots on the body, the sort of black marks on the tail, body patterns, they're all individual, fingerprints so to speak. So those of you that are keen to help a bit, grab some good screenshots and then send that through to the Endangered Wildlife Trust, ewt.org.za, and any good, and they're ID'd, we got the some interesting information behind them from the guys that are studying them. So left-hand shots with the dog on the right-hand side. Now if you look, he's got a few interesting marks. Little white fleck on the backside there, I think, is a good one for IDing as well. Great, guys, already we've got some ID potential here, saying it might be the half-tail pack, and I'm wondering if it's not referring to that dog on the left there. If you look very carefully, that guy, look at that, that's the same one with the floppy ears, but that tail is not a whole tail. It's a little bit shorter than a whole tail, so maybe that's where it comes from. We'll see if there's another one. I presume the half-tail pack would have at least one dog in with half a tail. Here's another. Oh, that's a beautiful one coming in now. Look at nice dark markings, dark face. Beautiful looking dog. And Marie, just wondering, you were asking how many dogs in a pack on average. Anything from 5-6 dogs, although sort of 10-11 would be a good size pack, up to, it'll be interesting if someone can let us know what's the biggest pack that's ever been recorded. But I would guess well, up to 15, 20, 25 dogs, especially when they've got lots of healthy pups, is quite, not unusual. And I would guess the biggest packs, and I don't know, 100 years ago maybe bigger, but I'm sure they could do quite well in packs of up to about 30 or 40 animals even. But let's say 10 to 25 would be a good one. And guys, just give me a shout if I need to make space. It's been a treat already. And give you a little bit of secret information. Don't tell anyone, because not everyone knows yet. But they've just found Shadow in the cub again as well, one of the other game drives. So luckily we found her earlier. Oh, look at that jump, nice. Game drives came in, different guys working together. We're forming a pack of our own between the different rangers here. Found the wild dogs, boom, found Shadow in the cub again as well. I'm hoping they're going to stay with her, because I would love to know where they're going to end up for the morning. We've got dogs running around, dogs eating, playing. Very social animals, wild dogs. They're like wolves, very similar. Pack animals, social interaction, playing, dominance behavior, all that is very important for them. Oh, wow! Jumped straight towards the car. That was beautiful. See, there's whitetails, very clear visual markings for them when they're running through the bush. I mean, now they're playing, but if they're busy hunting and in the excitement and chaos of a hunt, those whitetails are important following mechanisms. Lowers, very important. Big pack animals like this. You were just asking about the rankings in the pack. And it is very important for them. Oh, what are they seeing? What are they looking at? Oh, maybe just that buffalo walking away. Notice, yes, the ranking in the pack is very, very important. I wonder if that... he's got a full belly, that's it. You've got a structure which, you know, first and foremost, alpha male, alpha female. So you have one dominant male, one dominant female. They will be the breeding animals. And they would also, most of the time, hunt or lead the hunt, lead the pack in that sense. But then from there downwards, you've got lots of different hierarchies between the different individuals as well. And it's always being reaffirmed and retested and sort of a lot of that sort of playful bickering, if you want. Most of it is sorted out quite peacefully. I mean, that's why they survive well in a pack. They don't have to fight for it every time. A lot of it is just done through the play and the interaction and grooming and all the different little sort of intricacies of social behavior, which, you know, us as humans certainly have learned a lot about over the last couple of 100 years, you know, to the point that we can now live essentially as one sort of global pack in some ways. But very important with the dogs. You also have the lowest ranking dog in the pack, which has got quite an interesting role, and that is that they sort of help reposition us a little bit. Guys, are there still mobiles with Ingwe and the Mampipa? Liam. Okay, but is there still mobile fambang with the Ingwe? Okay, copy. Brent, you guys, if you copy, they've left Shadow. She was heading east by that transformer into the Slateen. No one's with her. If anyone is in that area, follow-up would be great. Look at that. Guys, let's make quickly Texan know as well. Texan Lexi, guys, if you copy, just to update, they had Shadow and the Mantinto on the young male at the transformer on Triple M heading east into Slateen. As far as I know, there's no one with the Ingwe now. If someone can or wants to follow up there. Big ears. Hearing is very important. When they're hunting in big packs, they often can't see each other. They'll be spread out over quite an area sometimes. Some of them circling around. They've got great strategy as well when it comes to hunting. So hearing each other, very important. Those white-tailed flashes also helping to see each other. But very important that they be able to hear each other over a big distance as well.
That's a wild dog, by the way. That's a hyena. It's an impala. It's a fully normal impala.
Good question there. By catching your name right, it's Wolf. Fitting name for someone looking at wild dogs. Just wondering if these packs bumped into another pack, or if two packs met up along the way. I mean, met up would be a casual term for it, but good question. I mean, these guys would, again, mostly just avoid other packs because they cover such large areas. So the overlapping into home ranges would most of the time be without them knowing about it, or about knowing about each other. But if it was to happen, there would, I'm sure, be sometimes some fights around it. But again, there's, with these animals, as within the pack, they're great at how shall we put it, non-confrontational violence, if that makes any sense. In other words, they can communicate a great deal of dominance or submissive behavior or even violent behavior without being physical about that violence. So lots of chasing and yapping and sounds and playing and jumping and biting, but not with the intent to necessarily kill each other. Good question. I've actually never in my life seen two different packs interacting. Lisa, good morning. Gonna make a little bit of space here for the other vehicle. They can get a good view as well. There we go. Now everyone's got a good view. Lisa, no pups around at the moment that I'm aware of. Certainly not in the direct vicinity of where we are. But that is great, and what Lisa's asking there are about the pups, and they can have a lot of pups at one stage. Again, I don't know the most pups ever. In fact, I used to know, now that I think about it, but I can't remember what it was. But they can have 8, 10, 12, 14 pups quite easily in one litter. So a pack can go from 5 dogs or 10 dogs to doubling that number in one successful litter. And they all help collectively to raise those pups, which is very interesting as well. In other words, the whole group, the whole pack, work together at raising the pups. In the beginning, by bringing food back to the alpha female, and then later on bringing food back to those pups at the den site and regurgitating it for them to make sure that the pack survives, that the species goes on. Beautiful, all the colors just as they're moving around. Beiges, browns, whites, blacks. Just a conversation going on in Twitter there now about the dog's noise, the sounds they make. They don't bark like dogs do, like many of you I'm sure have dogs at home. It's not the same kind of bark. It's more the sort of high-end squealing, almost whistling sound sometimes. I'm sure you can hear it if you listen carefully. When they get very excited, that goes almost into a cackle. I mean, it can almost sound like a hyenas at a kill sometimes. Lots of excited sounds, but very high-pitched sounds, not deep barks like we get with dogs. That's a bit of dominance and dominating behavior going on there. This is not a male or female in estrus specifically, I think. No, in fact, that couldn't see there if it was. Could have been male on male as well. You often get that as a dominance behavior where the one will mount the other one. It's just the voices you can hear around. If you've maybe just joined us for this drive, we've had a spectacular morning. Shadow and the cub, awesome leopard earlier, and then the wild dogs very close to the same area, not far from where we were looking for the leopard. A lot happening here, and also very excited people. So if you can hear other voices, we've got 2 other game drive vehicles with us enjoying the sighting. I must just talk to the game drives again quickly because my radio has been down. Station, sorry, my radio has just been down. Any other movers standing by? I will gladly make space at the Madaj. Guys, my apologies. I thought someone would tell me. You must just tune me, Guys, we're gonna. Alright, I'll be pulling out in the next half a minute. Guys, we were really treated here. There are many vehicles that would love to see this. This is truly one of the highlights of being on safari. It's as great as seeing a leopard, or as great as seeing a massive herd of buffalo going down to drink. So the guys have been very kind letting us in here. There are other vehicles. We're going to make space for them. Let them come and enjoy this as well. So we're going to move along, see if we can catch up with that leopard. Guys, thank you very much. Oh, there's a tree behind us. Oh, what a treat. What a treat. On the way out here first, talk myself into driving into a tree. The leopard, we know this just come out the game drive, saw. Oh, what a morning. And this is where we left the leopard. We know they just come out the game drive, saw for a bit. She's disappeared again. Unfortunately, there was no one that could stay with her. But we are going to go look. And yeah, we're in the bush. We're on safari. You never know what's going to happen. Yet again, we have been surprised massively a few times already, and we are. Not even, what is it? It's an hour and a bit into drive, no? 6:37, yeah, hour and 15 minutes into drive. Amazing. Just a big thank you again, and appreciate it. Let's see if we can find Shadow and give you an update. I'm just backing stuff up to hard drive, make space for new surprises. That was all sort of exciting succession there too. Yeah. Steph and them finding a leopard on foot, us finding a leopard again, leopard disappearing, boom, wild dogs, and now I'm hoping, I mean, it's about 15 minutes or so since the last sighting was had, or the last visual was had of Shadow. I'm going to take this little track. I'm trying to get hold of Liam. Liam again. Liam, can you just confirm for me that Ingwe, you said just south of the transformer heading due east? Liam again, huh? Okay guys, sorry if someone did pick up earlier. Just wanted to confirm that Ingo and Mantuan that he had, if I got it right, he was south of the transformer heading east, is that right? Thank you very much, appreciate that. Alright, south-southeast was the last direction. True Leopard, maybe she's taken to a kill, but she was coming from the northeast towards the Cub, then cut due east. Now we know it was because of the, give you a little hand there, you've got a few drops in your eye there. Heading due east after that, but that was because of the wild dogs. How's that? There. Good. Alrighty, so I don't think, my gut feeling is that she's maybe not going to kill. She came from that side, found him, turned away because of the wild dog interference. That was obviously not planned. And then she's heading southeast. So a little bit of luck maybe. Hopefully find her on one of the roads here. I know HT is also in the area looking. And we still have an awesome 2 hours of drive left. So, you know, anything can happen. Because you never know what's around the next corner. That is something that we have all learned over time. Thank you so much, guys. There's a chat and Twitter going on, and also the whole team here. It's much appreciated. It is something I'm very happy about and excited about. HT and myself this morning early over coffee were talking about, you know, HT's words. I think it's the greatest thing I ever did, and I have to agree with him. It's my anniversary today. I've been married 5 years today, and Leishan, if you're on drive with us at the moment, love you, and great to be able to say that. It's a very special thing. Marriage and family. And yeah, what a way to spend it. Other than them not being here, would have loved that. Maybe next time. But what an awesome morning for it. And thanks for the wishes. Much appreciated. Yeah, life is an amazing journey. It truly is. Looking for tracks now, because we are now sort of east, starting to move into the southeastern quadrant from where the Leopard was last seen. So if she did pop out here, we might have a few tracks on the road. Impala Plains coming up. We're going to check Impala Plains. No.
Folks, it's been a very exciting morning over there. That's beautiful stuff to see those wild dogs, and Pete with on that kill with those dogs. We've just been scooting around looking for other leopard, looking for Mvula as well. Not really sure where he has gone. Just constantly just checking, looking for tracks, and then listening to the radio as well. I just stopped here because this is an interesting zebra. This zebra here is a young stallion. And he's just grazing away on the verge of the road here on this more sort of tender grass, and there's something very interesting about his tail, as you can see. He's gotten on the other side of potentially attempted attack by a predator, or it could have been in a fight with another zebra. He could have lost a bit of it, you just don't know, but he's definitely got a very, very shiny tail there, and they use that tail a lot to swat flies, so the poor little guy's struggling a little bit there, but he's still alive, which is the most important thing. But grazing away on this beautiful sort of tender grass right on the edge of this road. And just up a little bit further is a wildebeest, and they often congregate together in much greater herds. But interesting just to see them here. We haven't seen many zebras lately, so I just thought we'd stop and have a quick look at him. You do hear a few beeps and a few little conversations going on our Game Drive channel if you've just joined us, folks, so you'll hear beeps and carry on, so please don't worry about that. It's just the radio going off like that. Okay, let's move on. He's a beautiful boy. Let's just see if we can get up a bit closer. He might let us just sit here close to him for a second. Hello, my boy. Okay, it's okay. Sometimes it's nice with animals just to pull up and let the engine run for a little bit and just get them used to you, and then button off when they've gotten used to the noise. He's very comfortable. So I've got a question from Sherry in Los Angeles. Sherry, welcome aboard and thanks for watching on Safari Live this morning. It's a good question, Sherry, about leopards. This zebra's still just grazing over here whilst we talk. Your question is that you've heard that leopards are the most elusive of all the cats. Well, that's very, very true. They are very elusive, and we don't see them as often, well, in some parts of Africa, because they're solitary, whereas lion prides are, they're quite big, sometimes up to 15, 20 animals in a super pride. You can get even more up in East Africa. But the point of that is that you can normally see a lot more lion tracks, you normally see a greater mass of these cats, but the solitary cats are a little bit more tricky to find. They have been, over the years, and you'll probably know this, with most predators all across the northern and southern hemisphere, when there's a human-animal conflict situation where you've got animals taking farmers or livestock or humans for that matter, you will have a situation where the predator will be persecuted, undoubtedly persecuted, and be pushed away. They do over time start to get a very, very strong sense that humans are danger, so they will stay away. As soon as they see you, they'll run. You will get situations where lions or others may end up preying on humans in a situation in a rural community or something like that. Tigers, other big predators as well, which isn't fantastic, of course, but then you'll also have a human-animal conflict situation. In the Sabi Sands, what we have, and particularly where we are on Djuma and Arathusa, your question is it because the animals have been habituated for a very, very long time to the vehicles and people? The answer is yes. There's been a lot of hard work that's gone into the habituation and the conditioning of the animals to show the animals that we are not dangerous. We are actually just here to observe. We learn about the distance to keep from the animals, and over time the animals accept us as part of the landscape. That's exactly what happens, and it's a fantastic questions, Sherry, so thank you very, very much. And thanks for being with us this morning. Okay, we're going to say... we're just going to say goodbye to our Mr. Zebra friend here. Quite a impressive photo, isn't he? I might just pull up and give you a little... Sorry mate, I'll just let this other vehicle go past. Oh, good, thanks mate, how are you? He's really, really comfortable with us, so I just thought we'd stop a little bit further. We just got another vehicle I wanted to let come up nice and close. Lovely markings on his legs there. Such a unique pattern on this animal. If you've got any questions, folks, please, you're more than welcome to fire a question off to us. If you want to tweet it to us at #SafariLive, or you can email us questions@WildEarthTV. More than welcome. You can see how those beautiful lips. This is a horse with stripes, folks. You can see all the similarities. It is in the same family as horses. It's just a magnificent wild horse, wild animal in the horse family that's got stripes, and what an incredible creature it is. All different stripe patterns, and there's different subspecies. There's the Grevy's zebra, which have got very, very tight patterns up in East Africa that don't have that shadow stripe that you can see on the rump. Oh, there, that's great. Thank you, Andrew. That shadow stripe is a great characteristic of the Birchells or the plain zebra. And then you've got the Grevy's zebra that doesn't have that stripe, very, very tight pattern. And then you've got the Hartman's mountain zebra as well, over in Namibia. Much more desert dwelling, don't congregate in such large groups, much more sort of around 10 to 14 animals, and dispersed into the mountains there. So incredible creatures. There also used to be another wonderful creature called the quagga, which unfortunately died out or became extinct last century, but we've still got these wonderful creatures, luckily, and he is quite the comfortable stallion with us. I'm sure many of you know this anyway, but just for people that have joined us, or it might be your first safari, that coat pattern or those markings are individual to every animal. Every single animal has a different individual marking, and when the youngsters are born, the science has proved that the males, the babies or the foals will be shielded by the mother. Anyway, thank you. Is she? Sorry, excuse me, folks. Back into Djuma or back into Arathusa? Did she? Okay.
Try to scratch around with Impala and Impala open.
Yeah, we just came through there as well, mate. So, what channel are you on, mate?
Now.
Okay. Yeah, the comms are tricky, with this new digital. Okay, man, thank you very much, Have a great morning, everyone.
Good luck.
Thank you, mate. We're just, it's always good to just talk to one of the guys that passes, fantastic guides from Arathusa, and just discussing where we're all struggling a little bit with the radio comms and listening to what's going on. So I think Peter's looking for Shadow and her cub. They did cross back into Djuma, and we'll keep our eyes open. These guys have been looking around exactly the same area that we've been looking around, so she could be anywhere in this block in here. We're going to take a left in here anyway and see what we can see. But I'm sorry, just to finish that little bit about the zebra, before we had to quickly chat to the guides there. what will happen is the mother will shield the foal from the rest of the herd for a good 24, 36 hours to try and imprint that marking, the mother's marking, on the baby or the foal's mind. It's an interesting bit of information that's been picked up over some scientific sort of not experiments, but some studies that have been done, and it seems to be what really does happen. I'm sure it doesn't happen perfectly every time, because when you do get the massive migration herds, it'll be really tricky, but they seem to have success with it. And you very rarely see a zebra foal off by itself without its mother. So there's something going right there, and we're never going to understand everything, folks, until we speak zebra.